So on then to our location report, which takes us to Europe yet again, this time to Tuscany, where Kenneth Branagh filmed Much Ado About Nothing. Branagh himself played Benedict, Mrs. Branagh took time off from talking to her Oscar to play Beatrice, and the supporting cast was starrily studded with such as Denzel Washington, Michael Keaton and Keanu Reeves. The film was shown and enthusiastically received at the Cannes Festival last month.
Sigh no more, lady, sigh no more. None will deceive us.
And I could wish he'd modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy. So good a lady.
Certainly I wanted the piece not to be tight-assed, if I find a rather crude way of putting it. You know, the play can often be dominated by a sort of rather tight-lipped, courtly wit. You know, an image people have, if they know the play at all, is of Beatrice and Benedict, two witty people bantering. And, you know, it's many more things than that. So I wanted something that looked kind of, you know, sort of rustic and lusty and bawdy and sexy and kind of seething with hot-blooded acting. All real meat and potatoes acting, you know? So I hope we get it.
Because, I mean, it really is, it's just, you know, all our tits are up on shelves. And there's a lot of lathering and boys in tight leather trousers. It starts with real, you know, you see all these people coming together and you think, oh yes, they're all going to get to bed very soon.
Okay. Are you watching a shameless
Well, we've got a very interesting mix of actors, which I also wanted. I wanted it to sound and look and feel like a movie, not like some sort of, you know, formal kind of, you know, set in stone thing. It's a version of the play that's for now in this medium. And I wanted actors who are hungry to do it. You know, they're in it using their own accents, as we all are.
By my troth, a good song.
And an ill singer, my lord.
No, no, faith, thou singest well enough.
This is the first film I decided to do since Malcolm X because of Kenneth, because it's Shakespeare, because it's something that will test me as an actor and that I can grow, something I can grow from, and those things are as important as, you know, the amount of money or the right Hollywood business move you're supposed to make.
I have a line. In the middle of it, I just give your shirt a brush. It's actually much more difficult to do Shakespeare on screen for me than it is to do it on stage, because we don't really rehearse. And as everyone knows, the language isn't immediately accessible. I did that, you know. Whenever you say Shakespeare, the fountains go on. It's strange. Ken rigged it. I can't figure it out.
Lots of the actors know each other. And you know how that is in any situation where you come in. And Denzel Washington and Keanu Reeves and Robert Short Leonard and Michael Keaton, who are the, as it were, strangers, have been amazing. They've really fitted in and they seem to have enjoyed themselves.
The other day, we'd worked all day, morning till night, on the biggest scene, I guess, in the play for me. And it was probably the fullest, maybe best day of acting I've ever had. Not necessarily that my performance was best, but it was the hardest, and I felt like I had accomplished a lot.
Action.
I've known Ken for a long time, and he asked me to do it. It's just a tiny part. I've actually got slightly more props than lines, because if you haven't got the lines, go for the props. That's my and also stick very close to the very big star. I'm the sort of I'm sort of sidekick to the main clown, who's Dogberry, being played by Michael Keaton. And the little lesson for anyone starting out in movie acting is if you've got a very small role in a movie, then stick very close to the big star, because they can't cut you out.
What offense have these men done?
Very, sir. They have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanders. Sixth and lastly, they belie the lady. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
Obviously, you don't want to be the sort of farty who blows it, you know. And when you've only got like the 2 lines, that, oh my God, you know, it's like, oh, you know, get your thous before your these, and I'm afraid it's a very loud cut, followed by verbal spanking from Mr. Branagh.
Do you want to be head on here, or do you want to just go for the end of the house?
And Ken says, sort of 2 weeks before each film starts, why did I say I would do this? Why? And I say, remember that, remember that. I get the tape recorder out, I write it down, remember that. Because it repeats itself every time. But it is, you forget. And it's always worth it. It's worth it. And also, the pain is balanced, God knows, by, in this case, the most fantastic 10 weeks you could possibly imagine, in the most beautiful place, with the nicest people. So, thank you.
Then sigh not so, but let them go, and be your blithe and bonny, converting all your sounds of woe into hey, nonny, nonny.
So Henry V meets Malcolm X meets Batman. What a combination. Much Ado opens here in August, and I can tell you now that it's enormous fun.